Wasa yati.
خدشكه يا يدات
Oh.
نشيش
Ah. It's time. I'm sure more people will file in, but let's get the party started so that they come into class full swing. I'm going to share my screen and then we'll jump into class here. Ik eich satini stakati Johan. Ach tu ik wuch ka nachu tu ade. Ja zitat. Ja yagi. Da kun yagi. Ja yagi. Hin tanach kayani disi ya. Tlay ka kanaskadushu ya wachi yadis. Good to see you guys. I'm glad we're meeting together again today. It's the 4th day of the week. It's the month of underwater plant budding, and 28 days have passed this month. Is anyone in Sitka harvesting herring eggs yet? Me neither. I heard it's pretty cool, pretty getting excited. People are down there getting excited already. Okay, let's jump into our warm up. Like I mentioned, I like to start with a warm up every class. And so ach tu wasa gu yisa chwa achi wasa dua saug dacha dushu leit rachinach. Dacha dushu aya. Wasa dua saug leit rachinach dacha dushu. You guys remember? Should we do a review?
is it 7?
7. Naya, you do a saug leit rachinach 7. Naska dushu kwa.
8.
8 aya. Kagu shuk.
9.
9 aya. And in the next slide, I'm going to ask you all, what are they called in Lingit? Wasa dua sa kujin kat leit kagrinach.
10.
10 awekon al tish. Yaidat koach tuwasagu chwasaku wasa dua sa 7 Lingit grinach.
Dahadushu.
Dachadushu.
أخدوشو
Ye awe dachadushu. Ka 8.
Naskadushu.
ناسكدوشو
Nachyek naskadushu awa naskadushu. 9 koa.
قصك
Ye awe gushuk yudua sa 9 Lingit ka 10.
Jinkat.
Ye awe
جنكات
jinkat yudua sa 10 Lingit Banatish. Jumping into our review. We'll go back to our discussion questions later, but jumping into our review, go ahead and see these when you say these when you see them. Go ahead.
Kaduuhuat.
كدوخات
Yeah, awe kadu atawa.
شيخ
Ganartish.
ديخ
Ah.
Nask.
Nask.
Ah.
Dahun.
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 Cajun.
Yeah. Oh.
Kedushu.
Oh, Pledushu.
Okay.
Dachadushu.
Pledushu.
Ah.
Naskadushu.
Pledushu.
Ah.
Gushuk.
Yuk.
Ah.
Jingat.
Kat.
Jinkat.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Gonna teach.
Leg.
Ah.
Lek.
Ah.
Dek.
Leg.
Nask.
Oh.
Dahun.
Dachun.
Cajun.
Kitchen.
Pledushu.
Kedushu.
Dachadushu.
Dachadushu.
Naskadushu.
Naskadushu.
Naskadushu. Jin.
Gushuk.
Ah. Good catch. Repeat after me. Gushuk.
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 Ah.
Jinkat.
Ah.
Jinkat.
Okay. Okay. Repeat these ones after me. I believe on Tuesday we started going over sense of space in Tlingit. So the one speaking, the way you would say this in Tlingit is repeat after me. You qayatangi a.
You khayatangi
Uh, and these are the sounds you'll hear added to words to make them specify how close things are to the speaker. So the first one, repeat after me. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 he,
He.
He.
we,
We.
We.
and y.
You.
You.
Ah. So we're going to use these in a couple short question and answer drills, and we'll expand these as our lessons go on. So I have a question here at the top and an answer here at the bottom. Does anyone remember what douche is in English?
Cat.
Ah,
Kitty
cat.
cat.
Yeah, and you see this little cat I found on the internet and put
Mm.
here using my graphic design genius. And
Very good.
thank you. And so repeat after me first the two lines of our short dialogue. Repeat after me. Gusu douche.
Gusutush.
Dush.
Yeah. And what does that mean in English?
Where's the cat?
Yeah. Where's the cat? And then our speaker is saying ya douche.
Yeah, dudush.
Yeah, dush.
And what does that mean?
Here's the cat.
Here's
cat.
Here's the
Here's the
cat.
cat.
Yeah. So now I'll ask and y'all can respond with the answer down here. Gusu douche.
Yeah, dudush.
Yeah, dush.
Yeah, ya douche. Gusu tlake.
Yeah, dutlek.
Yeah, dutlek.
Yeah, and I'm taking lines from our movie about the balloons. I just put the number here, even though in the movie they're holding a balloon that has a number one. So one more time, I'll ask the question and you respond. Gusutlake.
Yeah, dutlek.
Yeah, dutlek.
Yeah, and in the video, nobody asks Gusutlake. Susie is just noticing. Here's one. Yeah, Dutlake. Okay, so let's practice. Imagine that it's a little bit farther away, just out of reach. And you're going to change what you say here in the answer. So I'll ask, you respond, Gusutlake.
Hey
Hey,
du tleg.
Ah. Gusutleik.
Way
du
du tleg.
Ah, way to tleik. Gusutleik.
You du tleg.
tleik.
Yeah, oh, you to tleik.
It's all the way out there.
It's
Out
way
yonder.
out, yeah, way out yonder. So a couple of the movie quotes, I made illustrations. And in this case, Susie is saying, here is one. And then Jimmy is just sort of repeating her take. Um, so first time, I'll say the top line and you guys be Jimmy and say the bottom line. Ja, du take.
Tleg.
Ah. Kaya du deeg.
Deg.
Ah. And then this one, just repeat after me. Kaya du nask.
Kaya do not.
Ah. So translation exercise. What is ja du take in English?
Here's one.
Here's two. Oh, one.
Here's one. Good catch. This is why I like doing this as a group. And then what is take?
One.
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 One. Yeah, these are lines from the movie. And then what is kaya du deeg?
And here's two.
And here is two. Which part means and?
Ha.
Yeah,
Ka.
yeah,
Mhm.
this ka means and. And what is deeg?
Two.
Yeah,
Two.
two. And the last one, kaya du netsk.
And here is three.
Here's three.
Three. Yeah. Okay. So those are some of the lines from the movie. I'm gonna play it until just past there, and then I want to talk about another concept with you guys. I'm gonna rewind it a little. Sorry. Okay.
Jimmy kan de tukneo na cook. Susie kan ayahiatus tuch ku huidas the kat ayaye the party. Yadu cake. Cake. Kayadu dear. Dear. Kayadu nask. Not Jimmy, Yadu Dalkun.
Okay, repeat after me. Na Jimmy, ya du dalkun.
Na Jimmy.
Not Jimmy.
Dad.
Dahun.
Ah. And so we have we translated this one last time. Here, Jimmy, here's four. And then let's practice this line too. Caucasian, Tlak, Gashat.
Caucasian, Clark, Sharp,
Caucasian clock gashat.
Ah. So let's listen ahead for this one.
Caucasian tap goshat atakate.
Cajun. Yadu Kedusha. Konakaya Sigo.
Kedusho. Tahadusho. Yadu tahadusho ah. Ah.
Chetlagu Jimmy. Dad Yahone.
Tsuye kosane latin kadu uxel tahadusho. Tlachyak aga khan kadu uxel tahadusho.
Tukadu Urset. Jimmy Yadu Natskadusha.
Kinkwat latin suse. Litlakisha tabkhek.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it there because they basically repeat these lines over again with all the different numbers. But did anything else jump out to you guys or you wanted to talk about with the video?
Yeah, they're like, oh, it died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
what is, oh, go ahead.
Oh, just yeah, he's basically telling her to take care of, like, be careful with the balloon. Kinkwatshishtin, take care.
Yeah.
And I think she also says like, I'm happy, I'm very happy. Like the kunach ach sagu or ach twasigu, something like that. Oh,
Yeah.
Kinkwatlatin. Is that what is that what? Oh, watch carefully. Okay,
That's,
I thought he was saying like be careful with the. I heard shishtin.
yeah, good call. That's why I like collaborating on transcription and translation. You heard one thing, I heard another thing, and let's look it up and play it again. Because this is where it gets fun to do group transcription, where your ears will be tuned into different sounds and words. It gets really trippy for me. Certain times I'll be listening, I'm like, I hear an L sound there. And then,
Mhm.
you know, the three other people I'm working with are like, no, there's definitely not. So our ears will kind of tune in to different sounds and sometimes I'll convince myself I hear something. But anyway, that's just kind of an interesting phenomenon with watching videos and studying videos. But so our first go through, we're just, what I do here is I write to the best of my ability and memory without looking anything up. I start with what I think I hear and put a question mark. That lets me know I need to look it up or ask for help. And then here, Sakun mentioned that they heard konach siku or something like that. Like there's a lot of happiness or fun or something going on.
Wune. I think they said the balloon died.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's do that one. Format the table. Okay, so I'll put Wuna. And we're not sure yet, but I'm just gonna put a question mark here and something about like the balloon died. And then put a question mark. This just lets us know we need to look it up. We're just putting our initial ideas of what we think we heard. And then did anyone catch what Jimmy said to her in response about the balloon after it deflated? Okay, let's go. I'll pause it after Dinquatlatin. We'll listen and then we'll look it up and we'll kind of narrow in on what we're hearing here. So, run it back.
Not Jimmy Yadu Dagon.
Caucasian tap gushat atakate.
Cajun. Yadu Kedusha. Konakaya Sigo.
Okay, repeat after me. Konachaya siku.
Kunach ayasigu.
And any guesses what this one might mean?
This makes me happy. Very happy. Or
Yeah,
something like that.
something like that. Siku on its own. Like I know achtuwu siku is I feel happy. I wonder what siku means on its own. Let's see. There's going to be a lot of siku. Let me make this larger for our screen. Konachaya siku. I want to say that they're saying like this is so fun.
Mm. Yeah, I
Um,
might be like translating it a little too literally, because
yeah,
sometimes there's other other forms that it can take, and now that I'm thinking about it, I'm looking at the Lingit, and there's nothing really indicating that it would say like that this like it's a feeling change, or this thing is making my feelings change by interacting with it, or something like that.
yeah,
So
yeah. Good
so it could
point.
be just as simple as it just makes me happy, very happy, or something like that.
Yeah. Um, I've heard someone say before something like "Sugunachtusene," let's make fun or let's make like good times. I'm just gonna quickly look under the S section and see if it pops out as its own entry. I see Sitgao-san and then Sit-ad. So maybe no Oh. Okay, one more place I want to look. Under verbs for gu. Oh, sagu. Okay, I just remembered something. I'm gonna see if it lines up. I just remembered that when you so sigu means it comes from a verb. If you change it to a noun, it goes from si to sa. So I'm gonna quickly look under sa.
Like sagu is our word for happiness.
Yeah.
Hmm. And now the more that I think about it, the kunach ayasigu doesn't really. There's nothing indicating that's saying like like nothing indicating that it's me making me happy. So it could just be like you said, Nilatoga, like just a basic phrase of just saying like this is fun, this makes me happy, this is a happy thing that we're
Yeah.
doing, something
Yeah.
like that.
Okay, cool. So let's go with this one. Are you guys good with this one? Sagu for happiness or joy.
Uh,
Okay, cool. So this reminds me too, that little epiphany I just had when I was looking at these words is that you can take a word that's a verb like hlitsin, and I'll just illustrate the difference. So hlitsin, they singular.
Is that like saying like instead of like we're having fun, or it's like this is fun, or
It's kind of like, so this would be an example. If you have shitzin and it's spelled with an I here, you're saying that somebody is strong, that a singular
Mhm.
person that's not me or you is strong. If you change it to an A, shitzin, like tuwu shitzin, it becomes strength.
oh
Wow.
goodness, gee.
Ah, I just
Yeah.
remember I just remembered that while I was looking up sigu. And so you'll see here in our initial transcription, our rough draft, I wrote Konachaya Sigu. And then I kept looking up Sigu on its own. It wasn't showing up as a concept. And then I was like, oh, it might be Sagu. So now that we looked it up in the dictionary, we see it is, ooh, sorry, on its own, Sagu is the concept of happiness or joy as a thing. So that's the
Perfect.
yeah. Oh, that's so exciting. So exciting to
And
see how it
and Susie might have said Sagu, and we just heard Sigu. So I think I would like to replay that part and just
Okay.
rehear it with a second pair of ears.
Yeah, oh, konachike.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So it might be something like this is this is lots of joy. I don't know. This is going to be our initial translation. Maybe we'll change it for something that sounds more normal. This is lots of joy. We just need to think about it a little bit more. But something along this lines of joy and happiness being here. Okay, so now let's play it again and listen for it.
Cajun. Yadu Tredusha. Konachaya Sigo.
What do you guys think?
I thought it was a Sigu.
I heard the Sigu.
I
The,
did
the
too.
Sigu it is.
Sigu. It's definitely Sigu, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think we
Okay.
should hear it one more time first.
Okay, one more time. Let's do it.
Yadu Tredusha. Konachaya Sigo.
Mm.
Mm. Mm.
Sigu. You know the other fun thing about YouTube, when you do your video study, if you go over to the little gear setting, you can choose playback speed and slow it down too, which is fun. So we're going to slow it down one step. I do
Okay.
this all the time, and I'll just rewind it and play it again.
Yadu Tredusha. Konachaya Sigo.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sigu.
It's still hearing the Kunachaya Sigu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kunachaya Sigu. So, Sigu. Let's look at the verb now. So it's sounding more like the verb form of sigu, like someone being happy. Let's look at it. So gu would be under G. Gin. I need to go down to gu. Oh, here we go. So the option we're looking for, we have gu, and then the sound before it is a s. So this is it makes it more specific when you have add sounds before the root word gu. So s lets us know that it's a word that means for someone to be happy or glad. I'm gonna look at the bottom of the previous line just to make sure I'm not missing. No, that's good. Okay. And looking along, they break it down here for us. This is the one we're familiar with. Dutu, Siku, they are happy. But I don't see Siku on its own. So at this point for me, like where I am with my learning, I would be saying, okay, this is lots of fun, or this is really happy. Where I'm getting confused is like, who's happy? I'm definitely hearing a si and then a long haiku, but a first language speaker would know what the meaning is, whereas I'm kind of having to guess. So that's where I would keep a question mark here until I have a chance to talk to Shakhsanikik or Kone or anybody that I'm able to talk to. Panachaya Sigu. What would you guys guess this one means in English?
I was thinking that this is lots of fun, but then I started thinking as you were talking something about they are lots of fun. So the balloons lots of fun.
Oh yeah. When we have more than one,
Ooh.
yeah. Anybody else want to chime in?
That would be my guess, because there's no like I had mentioned, there's no indicator or ownership of the feeling in the statement, and since we generally don't just let things float into the ether, like it has to be attached to something and thing it like a person, place, or thing. So it might just be like a basic like statement, but then Susie's not really saying. Maybe it's just that it's implied that she's talking about the balloons because they're right there, and she's like basically like, "Check this out," like, isn't this a good time? Aren't we having fun?" Kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna add your other one, like, because your other translation is kind of like just getting at the feeling of what's going on. So, um, isn't this lots of fun? Um, when I'm working with a group, I like to include everybody's translations, and then when we have a chance to meet with our mentor, then we'll see what they have to say about it. But at least they have options to pick from, like that's more correct or that's more correct, or maybe they'll say, no, you guys are on the right track, but I would do it this way. So I'm gonna leave it there. And then the last thing we want to do is listen to the next line. Like maybe the next line will make it more reveal more to us. It'll either finish her sentence or I don't know. Let's just take a listen. I'm gonna put it back on normal speed.
Yadi Kedusha. Konakaya Sigo.
Kedusho. Dahadusho. Yadu dahadusho. Ah.
Chetlagu Jimmy. Dad Yahone.
Okay.
Is that the part where Sakun that you said the balloon died?
I think it's a little further in. She says it like the next two lines. She's Wuna is something.
And she says something like good Jimmy. And then let's play it again and see what she says next to see if we can kind of get closer to what they're talking about. Is it just me or does the balloon go from red to pink when it's in the air like its stunt double comes in?
Let me pay attention now.
Stunt balloon.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. I feel like it's still on. Oh yeah, it's normal. Okay.
Sure. Ah,
Chetlagu Jimmy. Dad Yahwone.
Tsuya.
Dash
Atlaune?
I hear Dash Yahune. I have no idea what that would mean. Did anyone else hear something else?
Can you do it on 7.5 speed?
Yeah. Let's do it again.
Jeez.
Yeah. What?
Chetlagu Jimmy. Dad Yahwone.
It's like it died. It's like something. It's something that's like it died. I don't know. Tlesquasiku.
Chatse tlashkwasako. Do we want to look some words up or do we want to listen to the next line first?
I'd like to know what dach, because
Ah.
yach is kind of like
It's like
it's like, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if we can find a meaning for dash. Dash. Let's see if we find anything. There's a pinched L.
imprint.
Yeah, these are pinched L's. And I'm actually gonna start the search at the. There's only 9, so we'll scroll through. These are pinched L's, and I didn't hear a pinched L. Dash Yahune. Dash Yahune. Wait.
Oh, it fell because it's heavy, or it fell like it's heavy.
Maybe.
Hmm.
It fell like it.
Oh, it
fe-
fell like it died.
Yeah, we can have all these guesses and then kind of narrow it down. It fell.
This is a fun game.
Yeah, it's kind of like Wheel of Fortune. It fell. Another guess. It fell like a weight.
Hmm.
And then where are we getting fall from? Because wune. Let's see what wune means.
I think it means died. I don't know.
Wuna is died. So if we
Oh,
look
oh.
at wuna. Oops, sorry.
The only thing that's close for me is Ga'atwune, which is like respect for all things.
things.
Oh wow, you guys,
But
you
I don't
remember all
think it's
that.
quite the same, yeah.
Well, okay, so yewune, yaatwune does mean respect, but then you can also have yewune, that happened to them.
Mm.
It happened.
To them.
Yeah, to
It
them.
fell. How would we?
Yaatwune, that's what happened.
Oh,
Dash yachwune. And are we hearing yach for sure and not atwune?
I did not hear a solid yuck, but that's just me.
Okay, let's write another option and then listen again. Maybe it's dash atwune. Something like it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's do another option here.
Maybe it's like it felt like it was heavy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can feel its weight now.
Maybe do what?
You can feel its weight.
Yeah. You can feel its weight. And again, this is just us doing the groundwork for a transcription project. If I was doing this for pay, I would just keep working on it and working on it, and then go expand my vocabulary and come back, keep working on it. When I finally have the whole thing written out to the best of my ability using all the resources, then I review it with René and he'll correct it. But at least I made his job a little bit easier. So just to give you guys an idea, if you end up doing this for pay down the road as professionals, then this is just how you would get that project started.
Yeah, it's almost like professional sign language people. Like they have hearing sign language people do signs, and then they actually have a deaf person retranslate the signs into actual deaf.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome to know.
Yeah, because hearing sign language and deaf sign language happen to be very different.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a side note, but at some point I'd really be interested to hear why this translation exercise is so important. Trying to pay people to transcribe these.
Yeah. It's if I heard you right, why it's so important is because there's a lot of recorded material of different organizations who go and film fluent speakers giving a speech or in a language gathering having a conversation. And for new learners to be able to learn from it, there's a lot of translation that has to happen along the way. Because there's just like so many layers of complexity that it's like if we can do the groundwork to get it done, then fluent speakers can review it and correct it to make sure that it's written correctly. Then from there, teachers can start using it as teaching materials, and maybe they'll make a simplified version, uh, and then lead their students up to watching the more complicated speech. But it's mostly about making learning materials for learners.
Well, and also just FYI, the children of the Taku have also have digitization equipment. So lots of people have gone around and have tapes of old speakers speaking, and no one can translate them because not a lot of people have that experience. So they have all of this wonderful wealth of information that can't be utilized because we don't have the skill set yet.
Right, yeah. Good point. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, children of the Taku do excellent work. Okay, so we have Dash Yahune and Dash Atune. Now I'm curious to hear it again. I want to see what we hear. Should I slow it down? Okay.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
I would like it like 0.5.
You want to hear 0.5? Okay, I'll play it at 0.75 and then we'll slow it down to 0.5. I've gone all the way down before, and yeah, there's no shame in it. It can get how slow can you go? It starts to get trippy when you hear people's voice slow down that much, where I'm like, I feel funny, I want to change it back. But yeah, let's play it and see what they say.
Chetlagu Jimmy. Dash Yahone.
I'm gonna play it one more time at this speed and I'll slow it again.
Chetlagu Jimmy. Dash Yahone.
Okay, so that time I did hear a yeah.
Yeah. Me too. I'm keeping my mind open to that yeah sound might be attached to the previous word. Dahli. Yeah, Dahli.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do a little slower.
It sounded like Rene's name. I thought I heard.
Oh, Dahlia Rene.
Yeah, sounded like wasn't his name from the like the blowhole of the whale, or so, and thinking back to like this balloon like making this blowing sound too.
Interesting.
Oh,
So
I did
interesting.
not know that about his name. Goodness, jeez.
I think it's when the raven comes out of the blowhole and he's flying through the air and goes, something like that. We could have our own CSI show about decoding the
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Okay, let's play it again. This time it's at 0.5, guys.
Chetlagu Jimmy. Das Ikhwane. Tsuye Kwasane Latin Kaduchsel Tahadushu.
Okay, thoughts?
Yeah, maybe it's Dashyach, like it's one word.
Dashiach. And then Wune.
Ah,
I was almost even wondering. Dash. Da. I don't know what this would mean. I'm just like keeping my mind open to that it might be, I might be hearing these sounds in different parts of words. Dashi atrune. Okay. What about the next line? I'm gonna speed it back up and listen to the next one.
I will take a.
And then I want to show you guys a poster. Okay, let's do.
Chetlagu Jimmy. Das Ikhwane. Tsuye Kwasane Latin Kadu.
Tsuye Kwasatin.
Really close. Okay, let's write what you heard. So yeah. And then something something.
Kwasatin.
Okay. This is what I would call the initial listen transcription where we're like that okay, on first listen I think that's what I heard. Now we're gonna listen a little closer and zero in. So something like Tuyik Kwasatin. Let's listen again.
Chetlagu Jimmy. Das Ikhwane. Tsuye Kwasane Latin.
Kwasane.
Yeah, away. Really good. Okay, Tuyik Kwasane. And then I'm gonna play it again because we're gonna hear the next line.
Chetlagu Jimmy. Das Ikhwane. Tsuye Kwasane Latin Kaduchsel Tahadushu.
What did he say?
Latin.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Strength.
Close. Latin means. Anyone else want to try?
It's watching or looking.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
It comes from watching or looking, and what we're seeing here is the command form Latin. He's like, watch. And then what does he say right before that? So what's a ne? So this is where I would look up the word based off the ending sound, which is going to be kind of the core meaning or the root word of what we're hearing here. Suyik kwasane. And I might start by typing in the sound right before it too, sane. Actually, let's keep it simple. We'll start with just the ending sound, ne. We go into our dictionary, and now we're expanding our vocabulary by completely looking up a new word we're not familiar with. So I want NEI. I'm gonna scroll down to it. So here's one. And just to give you a heads up, this is gonna have a lot of meanings and options because in Tlingit, this happens to be a very common root word, and you can use it in a lot of different ways. Yeah. So I'm gonna scroll up to the top one. Nay, nay, nay. Wune. So here's our previous search. We saw Wune, but we heard Sane, right? You guys hear that S sound? Sane. Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
So Sane. That's gonna make it a little more specific for us, so we know we're hearing a S sound. We're gonna look until we find the one that has an S there. Here's one. And just to give you guys some insight on the resource, when you have an S and it's lowercase, just like here, these are actually sounds that you're hearing spoken in the word. These uppercase ones need to be replaced with something. They're just placeholders. The lowercase ones are actually, okay, there's a S sound in the word.
That is super helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good. Okay. So we're gonna see different options. There's Sine with all of this stuff in front of it. Waqshiyik. We didn't hear any of that, so that one would mean to demonstrate, but we didn't hear this waqshiyik in front of it, so he just said Tsuyik Kwasane. So now I'm gonna keep looking. This one. Tsuyik Kwasane. So we heard the Tsuye and Kwasane. And the options we have are do, fix, or cause. And he says Tsuyik Kwasane, which is I'll show you in another resource where you can see it written. That's the future for I will. So he's saying I will do it, I will fix it, or I will cause it. Yeah. So let's look at this other resource. Verbs. And this will have it a little neater for us. So again, these are all listed by the root word. Nay, I'm going to click it and expand it till I find the one I'm looking for.
Well, the first name said fix. That might work. I will fix it again.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. Awesome. And then just so y'all see the exact spelling of what we heard him say, we have future form. Tsuyik kwasane, I will fix it. Really good, you guys. This is exciting to see you advance. Okay, tsuyik kwasane. Tsuyik kwasane. Okay, I will fix it. You guys good with that?
Looks good.
Okay, so I will fix it. Watch. Okay, so we still have some gaps we need to fill. We didn't look up this one yet. Good, Jimmy. And we didn't quite narrow down what we heard, but to me, it's good that we heard lots of things and wrote down lots of options because any kind of research, you're looking broadly and then trying to narrow it down. But these ones, I feel like we're right on. I'll fix it. Watch.
Goodness, cheese.
Yeah, nice work. When we meet again, we'll continue the video, but also start looking at, since we answered the question gusu and yadu. Not to overwhelm you, but I want to start looking at different options of locations and then also how they relate to each other in movement. We'll start looking at that a little bit. Any questions before we go?
No, but that was really like stimulating for me for language learning today to go through all that, and it's like very interesting to kind of pull it apart as a group. And like, I think it's also important to understand that sometimes we have to tease it out a little bit, when we're newer, you know. So it's cool. Thank you. Gonna
Oh,
cheese.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear that. Anyone else have thoughts about it?
Just gonna choose to cut off po at satu. Thank you for teaching.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah, I
glad you
think.
guys enjoyed it. Go ahead.
Oh, I think it's a useful way to learn for sure. I'm still getting to the point where I can audibly recognize things, but yeah, I think it's useful.
Awesome. Keep doing it. Video study done regularly will help you expand your vocabulary and your listening comprehension. To me, it's just so valuable.
Yeah.
Are there videos that have Lingit transcription available for us to like practice with?
Yes. If you want to look it up before we meet again, I'll queue some up for next class, but if you want to look it up before we meet again, you can go on Lance Twitchell's YouTube channel, and he has a playlist called Fluent Elders, and I think some of them are transcribed and translated if you want to read along with subtitles.
Great, thank you.
Who was
Yeah.
that again? Name?
Lance Twitchell, Renee's English name, and I'll put it. Yeah, Lance Twitchell. He has a lot of good videos that I normally default to for looking up videos and trying to study.
I'm almost wondering if like the important exercise here is to be able to write down what I'm hearing. Or I can't really figure out what the crux is, like either writing down correctly what I'm hearing or finding what it is in the reference material.
Both and all, yeah. Writing down what you're hearing. When I started doing this, if I was in a room in person and elders were speaking, sometimes for a short amount of time, as long as my brain could handle it, I would just try to write down everything they're saying just to the best of my ability. And if I'm like, oh, I didn't hear the second half of the sentence, I'd just move on without judgment. Because getting in the practice of writing down what you're thinking you're hearing is one step, and then looking up the words, the sounds, and trying to make sense of them is a whole different step, but they're both crucial to transcription and translation. So yeah, exercise both those muscles.
All right, awesome. And the dictionary, there's a dictionary link. Sorry, is my
Wait,
audio? Is my audio bad?
Maybe.
Is there a link to the dictionary you were using?
Yeah.
It was on Renee's page, but there was a link that was broken there.
Oh, let me put it in the chat so that you can open it up. This one should work. And there's an option to download it, and there's also an option to use the HTML version, which would mean you're just looking at it in your web browser.
Okay. Do you ever use like hard copy stuff, or do you find it's to be able to type in and search like that?
I do like the hard copy, but I'm basically always at my computer, and I tend to use the PDF version, and then it's quicker to look things up.
Cool.
If I'm just tooling around, I'll kind of flip through the book, but mostly I use the online version or the PDF version. Okay, guys, good job today. I'll see you next week.
Gonna cheese, lingquat chicken.
Wa eto ko na cheese.